And welcome back to the final segment of the Playbook Pod, episode 9. With me today, I'm joined by he was a safety that went to high school in Maryland. Junior year, he was named to the second team All WCAC, helped win his high school team, named the Falcons the WCAC championship, and led his team to a third place ranking in the state of Maryland. His senior year, he was named to the first team All WCAC. He then committed to Buffalo in 2020. His first couple of years at Buffalo, he got very little opportunity. However, he made the most of each rep he got. In 2024, he broke out having 53 total tackles, a TFL, an interception, and 3 pass breakups. In 2025, he continued to dominate, having 50 tackles, 2 TFLs, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries. For his next year of college and his final year, we assume, I'll be asking him that in a little bit, he will be playing for the Virginia Cavaliers. It's Jalen McNair.
Oh, good, man. I appreciate you for having me. Appreciate you for having me.
No problem, man. So we'll jump straight into it. So we'll talk about high school first. So when did you start playing football?
I started playing football around, I want to say probably like age 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
What position did you start as?
Man, that was so long ago. I started out as a lineman.
A
It's quite
lineman.
funny. Yeah, I used to be a lineman. I used to be like a D tackle.
Oh, good grief. Did you get pressure on that QB though?
Sometimes I did. Sometimes I didn't. When I started getting older, I like started like spreading out a little bit. So then I got moved to like DN. And then after that, it was kind of like D tackle, DN, tight end. Then it was slot, running back. Then that's when safety and corner and all that other stuff came in place.
So you played pretty much every position of football but safety until you finally played safety.
Yeah, and I've never played quarterback. That's not me.
Yeah, except for QB. What kind of what kind of made you move to safety slash corner, and what made you kind of love the position that you're playing now?
I'm gonna be honest. It was a coach. I played for the Southern Heat in Maryland. I had a Coach Kurt. He kind of just pulled me over and he kind of moved me. I was working out with him, and that's kind of like how I got into playing like the defensive back position.
Defensive back position. Okay. So, what age did you finally start playing safety slash corner?
Probably my mm, maybe like fifth, no, maybe like 12, 13. 12, like the 12, 13, I actually started.
So, probably end of your middle school-ish
Yep,
tenure.
yep.
So, how was that transition going from every other position on the field besides QB to safety? And how did like coaches and everybody kind of help you out switching?
Like I said, Coach Kurt, I mean, he was probably one of those first coaches that kind of like was very serious about it. You could tell like he knew the game, he knew the position, he used to play the position. And then being around a bunch of other players that are good at the position, you just kind of want to get be as good as them. They help you work harder. And I don't think it was that bad of a transition because I've always been like pretty athletic, pretty fast. So it was just having to really just get those techniques down, and knowing that like at DB it's not always about the hit. You know what I'm saying? You want to get the ball in the air. I also used to just always hitting that. I mean, I could have a clear pick, but I'm still just hitting the guy.
So, how long did it kind of take you to get that kind of the tendency to hit somebody kind of out of your system and go more for like the ball or making a play on the ball?
I'm never gonna really say it's out of my system because sometimes, I mean, still to this day, my mom is like, yeah, you could have got the pick. You didn't have to hit him. So I mean, it's still in there a little bit. But to start getting picks, though, I don't think it took long. I mean, our coaches always told us like, you want to get paid, you gotta get the ball. That's how you get paid. You get the ball. So once I heard that, if I see the ball in there and I feel like I can get it, I'm gonna go get it.
Yes, sir. So we'll talk about your early high school. So how did freshman and sophomore year go? And were you moved up to varsity or did you just play JV until your junior year?
Nah, my freshman year, I played JV and varsity. I played both. And then my sophomore, junior, and senior year, I played varsity all through.
You started JV and were backup on varsity.
I started JV, was a backup on varsity, and then I started my sophomore year, junior, and senior year on varsity.
Sitting behind a varsity starter in high school, did that kind of help your development as well? when you
definitely,
were, and
definitely.
how did it help you?
Just seeing how they work, seeing how they go went about things. Obviously, you're a lot younger, so you just a lot of kids just think that you just gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? You can be the star on varsity, but like people are bigger, faster. You know what I mean? And especially in Maryland, football is very serious in Maryland. It's not like a oh you're in high school and you're just gonna play football. Like everybody takes it very serious. So I feel like just learning from them, that definitely helped a lot.
Did one of them kind of take you under their wing, or was it more of just watching their gameplay on the field?
No, they definitely took me under my wing. A lot of people don't know I wasn't always at good counsel. I was at good counsel for my junior and senior year. So my first 2 years I was at St. Vincent Pallotti, which is out
Okay.
Laurel, Maryland. A lot of those guys took me under their wing. James Patterson, Jared Patterson, my brothers Cam Sullivan Brown, Dylan Powell. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And then probably the best defensive back coach in the country in the world, Coach Justin Winters. I mean, all of them just took me under their wing and made sure I was straight.
That's tough. So we'll dive into your first kind of year of starting. So you started varsity on your junior year. How
Yeah.
did your how did that go statistically? We obviously know you made second team all WCAC, so you must have been pretty good. How did kind of your first starts as a varsity player go, and how did that whole season go as a whole?
I think it went well. Obviously, transferring from Pilates to Good Counsel, it was a different conference, different league. That year was kind of like a proven. I'm trying to prove to not just myself, but to everybody around Maryland that like I belonged in a league. When I announced that commitment, we had a lot of people that like hit my DMs on Twitter that was like pretty much telling me that I wasn't made for that league. So it's kind of like a just showing people I'm made for it. I feel like it was a good year. Obviously we didn't win the championship, so it's never like a solidified year because you don't win a championship. But I feel like I established myself and made my mark, made my presence known.
Did the doubters, so obviously you just said there's a lot of doubters that were hitting you up on Twitter. Did those doubters kind of fuel you as that season progressed?
Definitely, definitely, they definitely fueled me on because nothing is ever gonna be just peaches and cream. Like there's gonna always be some adversity. And when this get hard, obviously you gotta go back on why you play the game. But also too, I just always want to prove anybody wrong. I mean, every play, if I'm tired in the fourth quarter and we need to stop, I'm gonna think about like, all right, this is the time. This is what they said that I couldn't do. You know what I mean?
So when did the noise stop?
The noise never stops. I mean, the
Did the
noise is
noise
still going
stop
on.
specifically for that year, or your senior year? They're kind of saying the same thing.
But still, the noise never stops. The noise is still going on to this day. The noise never
And
stops. And
look
I and
where
I
you are now. You're a Division One athlete playing safety. Anyway, so your rest of your junior year, you just came up short of the title, but you did finish all second team all WCAC. Do you know what? Do you kind of recall what your stats were, or just any notable kind of stats or anything?
we played Spalding. I mean, we played Spalding one night. I think I had like 7 PBUs that game. I probably
Holy,
should have had like 3 picks. 7 PBUs. But I just think that was a good year. I played corner. I played mostly corner that year, and then towards the yeah, I played corner. I started at safety that year. Then they had moved me to corner. So I feel like I
outside or
did.
slot?
I was outside corner. I was on that island. I went against a lot
Revis
of. I
Island.
went. I went against a lot of. I went against a lot of good players. Actually played Marvin Harrison Jr. We played him at St. Joe's Prep that year. We went down there and played them.
Boy,
He wasn't like he was now. I tell you that he
oh yeah.
wasn't he wasn't he wasn't like that. We went there, we played them. Marco Helms, he plays for the Falcons now. He was a receiver at high school. He plays DB for the Falcons now, which is crazy. He gave us a rough time. So I mean that conference was full of guys, but I think I did pretty well that junior year playing corner.
So your senior year, obviously you knew that you came up short of the title junior year. So did that kind of fuel the off season for you? You kind of put in a lot more effort and you're like, we need to go win this thing to end my high school career?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that summer, me and my fellow teammates, we put in work. I mean, we put in like football workouts. Like we put in work outside of that. Like I mean, I didn't take a day off. I didn't have a summer. Like, the whole goal was to win the championship, and then of course, we had got it done.
So your senior year, We'll talk about that. So you balled out your senior year. You became one of the
Most
best
definitely.
players in the conference. Did that off-season work really just come into effect your senior year? And then how did your senior year overall go?
Yeah, that off season work definitely came into effect, and then I just growing from the year before, going back and looking at the mistakes I made from the year before, and just making sure I don't make those same mistakes, knowing that I'm gonna get attacked different ways. Also I had switched positions. I switched back, so then I ended up playing safety my senior year. They put me in places to make more plays than not just being on an island and just covering one person. They put me just the knowledge for the game. They allowed me to roam a little bit more. And outside of that, the senior year in general was a good year. Obviously, had a great season. First team, win the championship. Signing day is always a big thing. But then, COVID happened. So then that kind of like shut everything down.
So we'll talk about the recruiting process. So senior year, you absolutely balled out, and obviously you committed to Buffalo. Kind of how did Buffalo notice you, and how did the whole recruiting process go initially?
Yeah, so like I said, I used to be at St. Vincent Pallotti. So my coach Justin Winters, he actually went to Buffalo, the University of Buffalo. So Buffalo had already had, I want to say, probably about 6 players from Maryland that went to my old high school. So when they started reaching out, I mean, it was kind of hard to really, deny going there. But obviously, I had went on a visit there, and then when I went on a visit, they kind of treated me and my mom with such care, such love. The coaching staff, I love the coaching staff. That was the Coach Lance Lipo coaching staff. I love Coach Lipo and Coach Z that recruited me, so it was kind of like a no-brainer. They had all my brothers that we spoke about, the seniors that when I got there my freshman year that I looked up to. So then they were there in Buffalo, so it was like, why not just go down there and be with them again?
So it was kind of just a homecoming for you, your family, and then just your teammates as a whole as well.
Pretty much, that's exactly what it was, a homecoming.
So you went to Buffalo. Kind of describe the early years of Buffalo before the massive 24 and 2025 years.
Um, I enjoyed it like freshman, sophomore. You know what I'm saying? You're in college. You're gonna enjoy college. It's college. It's college. But it was just a lot of setbacks, a lot of like little tinks, nicks here and there, little injuries here and there that just made it very difficult. You work so hard in the off season, and then you get to like camp or like season time, then you get hurt, and then you're done, and it's just so it was pretty frustrating. So like I say, I'm glad that I was there with my brothers that could keep me level headed. My family, mother, father, of course, just being there support me, so I could have that 2024 season and from now on.
So, how did you change your mindset when those little setbacks come? Did you just say, I'm going to get through this, I'm going to power through it? Or how was your mindset for each little setback that you had?
Each mindset was different. Like the first time, what I'm saying, you get hurt, it's like, all right, I'm gonna bounce back. You know what I'm saying? You're so much more confident. When it keeps happening, then your mindset kind of like changes. I mean, like my last little injury, that was probably like the toughest one. 'Cause it was like the first game of the season, I think, where I got hurt, and it was just like, dang, like I worked hard, got my body right for this to happen. Like I really had to sit down for a couple weeks. Every injury has made me more mentally stronger. A lot of people come into football and they think like you just got to be so like big, strong, and fast, but the game is more mental than it is physical, and I think that I've developed on that.
And that led you to your incredible 2024 season. Describe the 23 off season right before 24. What in your mindset changed there? And then how did you come into 24 knowing that you were going to dominate?
I kind of told myself that like I wanted to get back to how I was that year that we won the championship in high school. That I just need to go back to that type of grind, that type of motor. So I just told myself like I wouldn't be denied any break that we had to go home. I didn't go home. I stayed in Buffalo. I worked out, and it was just a full on grind every day. I think I was working out like 2 to 3 or maybe 3 to 4 times a day. Like I was just grinding. The only time I was in my apartment was to sleep. Outside of that, I was working out, getting treatments, watching film, and then I mean, when it came to season time, you could see all that work paid off.
How often did you watch film? And then what did you take away from film as well? Kind of like what offenses were doing. And then have offenses changed a lot throughout your whole career so far?
So I mean, when I watch film, obviously in the off season, I start off with myself. I just want to see all my bad plays. I want to see where I messed up at. Like you always gonna remember your good plays. You don't need to keep rewatching those. I want to see my bad plays. I want to see why an offense attacked me this way. See if it's a weakness in my game to try to fix that. And then also, especially if like I've been in the same conference for 5 years until now. You know what I mean? So knowing that a lot of these players, you're probably going to see them again. You're probably going to see the same coaches. So the plays are going to be repetitive. And if they worked the year before, then they're going to come back to those years. So study those type of plays. Then study the players. If I know a running back is returning, see what does he like to do. Is he a jump cut type of guy, or is he going to try to run you over? If I know receivers coming back, just look at what he gives me. How does he run his deep routes from his short routes? If he's going inside, is his inside foot up or is his outside foot up at the line for certain routes? Just looking at all of that.
So we'll talk about the 24 season. Absolutely dominated. I would have said about even statistical with 25. Describe to me that 2024 season, the success that Buffalo had as well, and then kind of where that took you going into 25.
Yeah, that was a fun year, especially because we finished it with the Bahama Bowl in the Bahamas. So that was always lovely. That year though, that was a good year. I played nickel that year. So I was kind of like a hybrid in the box linebacker, but then like kind of playing a lot of man to man and stuff on the slot. Um, so I think that like that was the year that I coming out party like really established that I'm here. Like once again, like transferring from the high school, like I'm here. I've been here, but I need you guys to know that I'm here. And then I just had great players around me. My teammate Red Murdoch, Sean Dolak. Um, we had Marcus Fuqua, we had Solomon Brown back there. Um, I'm trying to think who else. I mean, we just had so many great players that year. It was a fun year. And then obviously like Sean and Red, obviously in the league right now. So just learning from those guys and seeing how they took the game serious and just, what I'm saying, watching film with them, watching film with linebackers, seeing it from a linebacker's point of view and not just like a DB's point of view helped me a lot with the like run fits and offense, how the offensive line reads and just learning more from the game.
I gotcha. So Red was one of your bigger mentors of 24 and just in general.
They definitely helped me just see the game from a different perspective. Because you don't want to see the game in just like a little peephole. You want to see the bigger picture. So just knowing what everybody did on the field, that helped a lot, which is also what I try to do with like learning the defense, not just learning what I have to do, knowing what the other safeties and corners have to do, and also knowing what like the linebacker and D line have to do because that's going to help, especially with playing safety. You got to know what the D line are going to do. If they're going to cancel the A and the B gap, then you know you need to be there in the C gap. You know what I'm saying? So it's just knowing the bigger picture.
So we're gonna go back to high school for like 2 seconds because I completely forgot to ask you one question. Who was
Most
your
definitely.
toughest matchup in high school, like team wise, and then player versus player wise?
Okay, I would say the team wise, our rivalry, Good Counsel was a rivalry for Gonzaga. Gonzaga was always a good game. Then they had Caleb Williams as their quarterback.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah, so I mean, one game we played them. I think our game went into 7 overtimes. It was
Good
like
grief.
insane. Yes, it was insane. So I would say that was probably the hardest team, the hardest team to play against. And then the best player we played against, I'll probably say Rakim Jarrett. He went to St. John's. Went to St. John's, went to Maryland, played for the Buccaneers right now. Probably say he was probably the best player. But he played
Tough.
receiver.
So we'll go back to college. That was the one high school question I completely forgot. So you're 24, you went to the Bahamas. Did you win that bowl game?
Yes, we won that. We played Liberty.
How did it feel to kind of travel to the Bahamas? What was the experience like? You mentioned earlier it was like a treat, kind of,
Yeah,
and then you came there with hardware.
yeah, that was fun, man. We were down there for a week. Um, we actually stayed down for an extra day. The school out of state, we stayed down for. We didn't go like right after the game. We left like that following morning. So after we won, we had like the whole day to just be like, to just pretty much just have fun, enjoy each other. It was in Atlantis, the resort, so they had took care of the resort for us. So it was kind of like, who wouldn't want a free trip to the Bahamas? You know what I mean? We played football, but at the same time, they still allowed us to enjoy the trip. Families were out there, so their families got to also enjoy the trip. So it almost just felt like a big party that just never ended.
So how was it like overall? So obviously the Bahamas are a treat, and then the trip as a whole, preparing for the game, knowing that you were in the Bahamas, it was a different environment than Buffalo, or you came in with the same mindset still, you're gonna win this game.
Yeah, we came in with the same mindset, especially for that game, because the year before that 2023 season, we actually played Liberty and they blew us out. The fact that we knew that we were seeing them in the bowl game, we were kind of like we were all just locked in, like, no, this is not going to happen again.
And what was the score of that game when you
I
won?
don't remember, but I know we blew them out. I know we took care of them.
Never mind. 26-7.
There you go.
Still.
Yeah,
Holy
we did.
hell. You
And they
came in
scored. They scored their touchdown like late in the fourth. Like we almost blew them out without them scoring.
good grief. So, 24 off season, you knew that you balled out this year. How did your mindset at all change? You just wanted to come in and dominate more? You wanted more?
Yeah, I wanted more. I didn't. Quite honestly, like the stats sounded good, but I didn't feel like I did enough that season. I didn't really feel like the season was that well. I felt like my presence could have been felt a lot more. I felt like I left a lot of plays out there, so I knew I just needed to do better things that next year, like get in better shape, take more care of my body, just get deeper into film study, and just work harder and harder. That was my whole mindset. I wasn't impressed with myself that year.
And then 25, you came in and arguably had your best year ever at 2025 go.
For the team, it didn't go that well for us. Obviously, we didn't even make it to a bowl game, so we're not too happy about that. From a defensive side of the ball, we had a lot of success that year. I felt like we were one of the best defenses in the country. We just our offense wasn't that well, so it didn't help us a lot. And then personally, I enjoyed that year. That year was fun. I got moved from nickel, was playing the boundary safety. They put me in a lot of places to make plays, not just make tackles, but make plays on the ball. And I just feel like that was a fun year. I feel like I started the year off very strong against Minnesota. That was our first game, and it just carried on for the rest of the season.
I gotcha. So 25 overall for you was like you personally had success, but the team did not have as much. Well, do you remember the record that year? Last year? So obviously you're at Virginia now. What was the decision to transfer from Buffalo and how was the portal process? What was the kind of the decision to leave Buffalo after 5 seasons? Six? After 5 seasons?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, everybody knows like the transfer portal is like a big thing now. So we knew that we didn't have the season that we wanted to have, and not only did we have a lot of key players on defense, but we had a lot of key players on offense too. That if those players had left, you know what I'm saying, you really don't want to be a part of a rebuild year for your last year. And a lot of those players ended up leaving. A lot of key players started leaving, and then for me, that was kind of like, all right, maybe we could see what we could do. And then my defensive coordinator, he ended up leaving too. He ended up getting another job. So then it was kind of like, I didn't really know how the season was gonna go. I'm not really hearing much from the coaches about what moves we gonna make. And then I always wanted to play at a higher level. I always felt like I could. Nothing wrong with Buffalo. Nothing wrong with the MAC conference. Great players in the MAC conference. Great players that have came out the MAC that have made it to the league. So never try to talk down on Buffalo or the MAC conference because they are a part of my story, made me who I am today. But I just know I could play higher at the level and showcase more than what I could do. So it's kind of just took a shot on myself. Then being in the portal, it started off a little slow. It started off slow, then it started picking up towards the end. Like it picked up probably like a week and a half before the portal closed. It started to pick up, and then Coach Cox, safety coach here at UVA, reached out to me. Great coach, knows the game well, great teacher. Outside of my coach from high school, he's probably my favorite coach in college right now. Um, and then he just reached out to me, and I came on a visit. Loved how love how they cared about me more than just a football player. Like they cared about what I'm gonna be as a man and after football, life after football. You know what I'm saying? Because one day the game's gonna end, and they care more about that. Love Coach Elliott and what he stands for. I mean, everything. I love the equipment staff. I love the nutrition. I love the strength coaches. I love the training rooms. And I'm close to home, so it's just like, why not? Why not take that opportunity?
Fair enough. And what are your expectations heading into Virginia, first year and final year at Virginia, a new conference, probably tough, a lot tougher opponents. What are kind of your expectations for yourself, your team, and just overall?
Obviously for the team, I mean, they just made it. They made it to the ACC championship last year, lost that game. So obviously for the team is to get back to the ACC championship, win that, and get in the college playoffs to compete for a championship there. And then for myself, just keep doing what I've been doing. I mean, I know the blueprint. I know what I need to do. Just because I'm at a higher level doesn't mean that you really need to switch up. Knowing that I got to work harder, of course, but still knowing that keep doing what I've been doing. Stay in the film room. Stay working hard. Keep your body healthy. And I mean, God will handle everything else.
Yes, sir. I like the faith part of that. Has God kind of guided you throughout your career as a whole, not even just at Buffalo in just high school and when you were a kid too, or when did you find him and how has he kind of helped you?
I've been going to church probably when I was an infant. You know what I mean? I grew up in church. But yes, I mean, for every game I pray to God. Before every night I go to sleep, I pray before. It's just you ain't gonna be able to do any of it without him. So I don't even try to do it. Don't try to do it without him. So he's the only reason I'm still here. He's the only reason I got through all those trials and tribulations I got through. So I wouldn't been able to do any of this without him.
I got you. That's incredible story. So we'll go back to Virginia ball. What kind of are you expected to start, or kind of like how is the safety room just as a whole look?
It's a competitive room. Everybody can play.
And then also, how is it learning a new defense? Because obviously Buffalo and Virginia's defense, I'm sure, are a lot different than each other. Kind of how have you been able to learn the new playbook that you're going to be in, and how is that transition going?
I feel like at the end of the day, football is kind of football. Cover two is gonna always be cover two. Cover one is gonna always be cover one. So it's just always just getting the terminology down. You know, what you call cover two might be different than what I call cover two. But I mean, I'm a smart kid. Smart in school, smart on the field. So nothing is nothing different than like if you're in a class and you know you got a test coming up, you're gonna study hard for the test. So I mean, you just treat the playbook like in school, how you would do it for a test in school, and just study it, engrave it in your mind, and you'll get it. And that's what I'm doing right now.
How is the balancing of being a student, so academic wise, and then football player? How has that kind of affected you too? Has it been difficult? Has it been easy?
I'm not gonna say it's been hard, like it hasn't been hard, but obviously it's not gonna be just an easy road. Like you can always have your little difficulties. But I feel like now where I'm at in my career, like I have it mastered. I know how I need to do. The biggest thing is just always time management. As long as like coming in as a freshman, as long as you have your time management skills right, you'll be just fine.
I gotcha. But we'll kind of transition out of the college part. How much do you watch NFL at all?
Yeah,
Is there any safeties in particular, or DBs, or just in general players that you love or like watching their film? And then how have you kind of taken their film and put it into your game a little bit if you have them?
right now, like current players, I would say I like Derwin James a lot. I like Jalen Ramsey. I like Jalen Ramsey because of his versatility. I mean, you've seen him play corner. Now he's playing safety and nickel for the Steelers. Like his versatility is good. I like Tyrann Mathieu before he retired. I think, man, there's so many guys in the league.
So if you know, or like kind of rank your top three favorite safeties that you like to watch film off of.
Okay, I'll go. Okay, I'll go Ed Reed. That's gonna go my number one. I love watching Ed Reed. I'm gonna go Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor is a dog. I love watching Cam Chancellor. And then I'm gonna go Tyrann Mathieu.
That's tough. That's a tough top three. And with that, we're gonna dive into the little Q&A that I had viewers send questions in. So these two questions are kind of going hand in hand, I would
Hmm.
say. One of them is worded who's your biggest role model, but your other one is who is your idol and why have they impacted your life so much?
My idol. I guess I'll say really my parents. I mean my mother and father. Just see how they work. They work real hard to get us where we are today. My mother had me at 17, watching her work real hard and have a kid, but still go to college and get her degree and still work a job and take care of us and still She's never missed a practice. She's never missed a game. She figured everything out. So seeing her and my father just work so hard, I feel like that naturally just gave me the type of hard working mindset and grit that I have.
That's awesome. Shout out to the Mother McNair and Father McNair. Shout out to them. What was your dream college to play for if you had one?
So that's so funny. I really never had a dream college. Like I didn't really like to be honest, my first love was basketball. If I'm being honest, it wasn't even football, but I loved playing football though. And then I think I kind of transitioned and started loving football more when you started seeing point guards weren't short anymore. Like these basketball players are like very tall. I mean, you see Victor Wembanyama bringing the ball down the court now. He's playing like a point guard. So, but I did get gravitated to like the jerseys. So like Oregon always had like the best jerseys. Everybody knew, so it was like, oh, I would love to put that jersey on.
If you were to get drafted and like had the choice to play for whatever team you wanted, what team would it be and why?
I feel like I would go play for the Dallas Cowboys, and that's just because my parents like them. My
Fair
parents
enough.
like the Dallas Cowboys, so I just feel like that'd help them out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Go win the Cowboys the Super Bowl. Next question would be who's the best trainer you've ever worked with before transferring?
Yeah, Justin Winters. Justin Winters, best, like I said before, best DB coach, best trainer in the country. Can't nobody
There you
come.
go.
Can't
There you go. Second to last question we have is are you going to miss Buffalo?
I'm gonna miss the fellas. I'm gonna miss my guys, the ones that's still there playing ball that I built a relationship with. I'm gonna miss them. The school, probably not so much, but I'm gonna miss the fellas.
Probably not the school, but fair enough. And the final question we have is what is the biggest difference that you've seen so far between the Group of Five conferences and the Power Four?
For one, I'm gonna say the linemen. I mean, the front seven is, the linemen here are a lot bigger than the linemen we had there in Buffalo. But just the work ethic is it's so professional based here, and everybody knows where they're trying to get to, and everybody's gonna work as hard as they can to get there. I feel like times at those G5 programs, we're kind of just players are just comfortable with being where they are, and you can just tell these Power Four and up that they know where they are, they know they're at a big level, but they're just trying to reach higher, and they're always trying to get better and push themselves to another level.
Oh, with that, I got one final question for you, and then we'll
Of
kind of
course,
call it. If there's any advice that you have for the younger generation to kind of get into ball and then go up through high school, make it to college, any advice for them to get there and make those steps forward, or just in general, life advice in general?
just work hard. It's gonna be some tough times. It's gonna be good and tough times. You're gonna have more tough times than good times. Don't ever stop. Don't ever let nobody tell you that you can't. Prove them people wrong. Just remember that. Just stay focused, and if you keep the main thing, you'll get there. All the distractions, they gonna always be there. All the females, they gonna always be there. Just keep the main thing. Keep your head down and work, and you'll get where you want to be.
All the females are gonna be there.
Be there, man.
Crazy, crazy. But that's how we're gonna end episode 9. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you leave a 5 star. Appreciate you, Jalen, for coming on kind of short notice because I literally just messaged you yesterday. Appreciate you coming on and joining the pod. And yeah, you're gonna dominate, make the NFL, win the Natty, Virginia Natty. It's gonna be or like NCAA D. Who are you be playing in the national title?
We be playing, man. I hope we play Alabama
Alabama. And then NFL Super Bowl matchup, just teams in general.
for this year coming up.
Yes.
This year, I ain't gonna lie. I got the Steelers. If the Steelers go find themselves a quarterback, they get a good quarterback. I got the Steelers making it.
That's a take.
Yeah, I got the still cause they got a great defense, bro. Like they got a great defense. They just need no disrespect to him, like he's been good, but they got Aaron Rodgers got to go. I would love I would love to see 'cause they just picked up Mike Evans. I would love to see the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Steelers 49ers is an interesting matchup for sure. Very interesting matchup.
That'd be a nice matchup in the Super Bowl if it could happen.
But episode 10 is going to be a banger per usual. There's three more interviews I got coming up. Good luck next year. I'm hopefully going to see you in the NFL one day.
You like the Bears?
Yeah, I'm a Bears fan.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind going to the Bears. I mean, you already got the homie on the team. You got Caleb there, so
Yeah. When you said
you'll just
Caleb, I thought it was going to be the best matchup, but apparently not.
nah, man. Rakim Jarrett. If you go back, if you ever go back, you get time and look up Rakim Jarrett at St. John's. We had played youth football together, so that's kind of why we already knew each other. But I mean, he was tearing the WCSC up. I mean, the dude would catch a 2 yard hitch and take it for 100 yards if he could. Like,
But yeah,
he tore it up.
we'll see you in episode 10. Make sure to leave it a 5-star, and we'll see you in episode 10, like I said.
I got you. I appreciate you, bro.